Hello, Ectosage here on the Sage channel. Is Sleep, Art, Game, and Eat. And today, they patched the game, and they added something pretty damn awesome. No, it's not working weapons. No, it's not working doors. It's working, see those things on the bottom? Landing gears. And I was originally thinking maybe I'd build a ship that its only propulsion was on the outside, but as I started building stuff, it occurred to me I needed to move that stuff around. And instead of just building some tools on that ship, well, why not build a ship to move that ship? So first off, I started out with this little one way down here. This is my first very basic one to move the large thing I was building, which I'll show you in a minute. And it's pretty damn basic. On the bottom here you have the grappling thing, which you might notice a problem right away, is that when these docking things, I'll actually show you really quick, are close, ooh, let's not zoom in too far, when they're close to something they can dock with, the outer edge of them actually changes color. So you'll see that in a second. Watch the docking clamps. There, you see they changed yellow, and so now I can press P and they're locked on. Well, the problem I had with the big ship is, of course, I couldn't see the outer edge of this big docking clamp in there. So it had its problems. I built it in place, so it wasn't that bad, and that's what I was moving. But after I'd moved it, moved the big platform, I decided, you know what, we no longer really need this. We should make something better instead of just moving that. Because also, something strange happens when you're moving a large object. It sort of wobbles and pulls because you're pulling it from an uneven spot and the ships aren't really fully connected, you know, all that brilliantly. So that's why I built that thing up there. And before I show you that, I'm actually going to move this ship over and dock it with that, just so I can set something up we're going to do in the future. So let me hop in here, super basic controls, and actually it pilots best. It's got most of its power to move up and down, so I'm actually going to point it down like this, basically add it, and then just press space. And that should get us going in the right direction. Yep, that's it. Oh, you can see our power spiking. That's another issue I have with this tiny little ship, is that it wasn't the most advanced ship when it comes to power efficiency. Now let's make sure we don't hit anything, because this big platform I'm working on, which will be actually, it's a ship that's going to be in another video. And did you just see that? That was something new. The docking clamps, when I stopped suddenly, they sort of ricocheted and broke off. Huh. Interesting. Very interesting. Well, let's put some new ones on there. We needed to move this ship anyway. But that's never happened before. But I guess that's to be expected since this patch just came out today. So let me hop in here. Let me actually move this away from that big ship. And we'll put it, I think probably just right here will be fine actually. Now let's get back up there and dock this thing. Ooh. For a second I thought that was floating away. I was starting to get worried. Okay, let's get up there. Alright, and while doing this, I think we're going to have to be slightly cautious to calm down and not hit it too hard, because if you hit stuff too quickly it will dent and break. So let's just try to line this up nice and flat. And of course, like before, I can't actually see the thing change color, but one of the good things is if you look in the bottom left there, it says in proximity, and when you're close enough to dock with something, that number will change from 0 to the number of landing gear or docking clamps that are actually in proximity to something else, and I can't actually see that number right now. Okay, I fixed the problem I had, which was basically my Fraps frame rate count was over, so now I can see it is indeed in range. I can press P, and now it changes from in proximity to locked. And now if I move this ship, you can see it wants to move the whole ship, but you see I'm not pressing anything now, the whole thing drifts, because of course it's only this small control or maneuvering thing that is trying to control the mass of the whole thing. So if I move the mouse down a bit, it sort of wobbles. And now you'll see this get much more interesting, because now I'm going to fly up there, I'm going to grab that ship, and I'm going to come down here and dock it. And you can see how when I move the large ship, trying to move the platform, this little ship will actually try to fight it and stay in place, and it creates some interesting things. It also means that if you're ever docking ships together, you got to make sure whichever ship is going to be in the lead, well, you got to make sure whichever ship isn't going to be in the lead shuts off all of its engines and other things. That way we don't end up in a spot of bother. Now here we go. This ship, I'll actually give you a tour of it. Ooh, damn it. Let's hope that wasn't any damage. Yeah, it was a bit of damage. Well, this is a backup save. So there we go. It's docked. And actually, I bet you one of the reasons maybe that broke those docking clamps in the first place was because... Let's actually undock. By the way, the docking key is P. Maybe one of the reasons it broke before was because this ship still has its reactors and inertial dampeners on and everything. So that could be part of it. So let's hop in here again. Let's go to external view. Let's just very gently come down. Ooh, not mess this up again. Both of them in range. Press P. And you might notice there's a gap there. They can actually be hovering a fair bit off the ground. They'll still work. Now let's press X. Inertial dampers off. Hopefully that'll prevent it from having the issue we had before. Now this big moving ship, or not sure what I'll call it, but this big transport ship for other ships and construction things basically has this little control room up here beneath the floor. If I do a cutaway really quick, you can see I have an emergency reactor, an emergency gyroscope, and the only gravity generator on the whole thing. If I was to go down into the rest of the ship now, let me fix that, you can see that on the outside you only see a lot of these little engines here and a bunch way down there. But if we were to fly into the core center of the ship, it's actually got a lot more. It's got these engines. There's actually one on top of the other, both pointing the same way. Oh, and I forgot to paint that, but whatever. And those are sort of the send the ship down. And if we come down here, you can see a lot more engines. And these are actually the main maneuvering engines for, left, right, forward, backwards. And also we have these engines here for up and down. And you see some more weird paint stuff because I painted the outside of the ship. I didn't really come inside and bother to paint too much. You come all the way down here, and it's just this nice little opening here. That is, because I built the ship from the ground up, the docking clamps, then went all the way up, so it sort of evolved as I went. And I like this design here so much. Some more wonky paint. How did I miss this? I could have sworn I checked this. Dang, I'm sorry about that. But anyway, I like this design here, and I'm planning on probably in another ship just having this as the main hallways because I like it a lot. Anyway, if we come down here, it sort of reminds me of maybe the ship from the original Alien movie, how it was a big floating platform. Of course, once you look up, it's a lot, thinner than that ship. That was like a big square with like buildings on top of it. This is more like just one big floating building. But anyway, here you go. You can see our docking things, and I painted yellow and black, sort of black for, I don't know, it just fits, and then yellow for, of course, this is a big thing that's going to be moving and transporting stuff. So let's get back up to the top of this ship, and we're going to fly it down there and get it into position. Oh, by the way, on the top, also it has a bunch of radio towers, which are currently pointless, but I have a sneaking suspicion later on those towers are going to give you sort of a heads up or more of a tactical display of where other things are, and they'll actually come in handy. Alrighty, now that we're in, we're going to start going straight down. I think I might have moved it a bit. I would really like some sort of grid to show you how you're moving. Let's see, if you look at the little caterpillar ship I docked on the side, I don't see its engines or anything firing, so that's a good sign. It's a very good sign, actually. Whereas before, maybe they were firing, I just didn't notice it. Now let's get down to about, how close are we? There, and stop. Whew, bit close. Now we're going to watch the thing at the bottom right and see if we can get into proximity. I'm just tapping the C key to go down. Let's go down. Oh, there we go. We got all four are in. Let's press P. We're locked in. And now let's find the caterpillar ship, which I guess I probably should have just docked right there. That way I don't have to go looking for it. There it is. And let's actually fly down there and take a look at how well we landed, if we're actually hovering off of it or anything. And hey, this time this ship didn't seem to destroy itself, so maybe turning off its inertial dampeners did the trick. Okay, let's undock. There we go. Free to fly. I love that docking thing. I'm so glad they added that. I was actually out of the house when the patch first came out, and I ended up getting a few messages on YouTube. Thank you, those of you who told me about that. I instantly came home and started working on this because, God, this is cool. even if I didn't do the best landing job. See, that's one of the problems with having such a tall ship, is I couldn't really see what I was doing down there. And also, that's another thing where if there was some sort of grid thing in the world, maybe I could have found out what percentage or angle, I was at in comparison to this. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, I put dents in this. Bit of a troublesome thing. But now we're going to dock this little bugger. Actually, we're going to... Whoa. I think I might have bumped something. We're going to dock the... Oh, God, what have I done? Caterpillar back up where we just were. And now we're going to try to move this whole big floating thing while that other ship tries to keep it in place. And you can see some of the weird stuff that happens when you have two large ships both fighting for positioning. So let's go ahead over here. Something new to get used to docking. But I like it. I like docking these ships a lot. So... Docked. Okay, inertial dampeners off. We're good. Cool. And I love the fact that the caterpillar flies about and just docks, because it looks like a big caterpillar on the side of something when it does. Ah, I love it. Okay, so let's hop back in here, get back on these controls, zoom out all the way, which we are. And wow, you can really see I was actually crooked too, sort of left to right, or counterclockwise too. But anyway, let's try moving. And now you can see all I'm doing right now is holding D. But the ship is turning because the other ship's trying to keep it in one place, so obviously they're firing at different sides of the ship, the large square ship, and causing the whole thing to spin about, which is pretty cool. So if I was to try to counter that, I'd probably have to do something like let go of my mouse and try to turn this ship. Oh, we just had some damage hit there. Did you see that? I'd say the caterpillar might have just lost one of its gears again. It did. Well, we'll keep going and see what happens. So you can see if I'm trying to correct it, I'm having to turn the whole ship to the right while continuing to try to move. But this creates a new problem because of somehow when I'm turning, it pushes on the other ship, and suddenly the whole thing is turning in a bunch of different directions. It's fairly funky. So let's actually get out of here, and we're going to go decouple the other ship over here. And we'll see what kind of difference that makes. And remember, it'll still fly pretty weird, actually, without this, but not quite as weird, because it's trying to move this whole big thing, but it's not exactly from the center point. It's from the slightly over there. And that's actually one of the reasons I made this ship so big, too, is because this was really hard to control the big thing on, because it's only controlling it from that tiny point, pulling everything sort of from that point. So let's hop in here. Shall we try to move it, the whole thing, with just this ship first? Yeah, we're not really doing anything. This ship is so small. Oh, there we go. Got a bit. Oh, let's not hit those little other ships there. That's something I'll show you in a minute. But here we go. Let's actually put it in motion and then decouple. And you see I hit the little damage there because I decoupled and I was still moving and rammed right into it. But now you can see the whole thing's moving and the large ship is trying to make it all stationary again. Whew, scary. Okay, let's get this out of the way. And now let's head back down to the other ship and try moving it again without that thing fighting it. Alright, so now that we have the other smaller mover ship decoupled and floating up there, we're going to try to move again directly to the right. And this time you can tell we're moving a lot more directly to the right. Now maybe it's just my eyes playing tricks on me, but this time it seems to be moving a lot better directly where I'm telling it to go. So it's possible that really the bigger ship that I've built here really is just capable of moving it where I want it to go. Oh, nope, there, I've stopped, and the momentum of the bottom piece carried on, and of course the ship was sitting on top of it, so basically it was like swinging a ball on string, where you're holding the string, which is the very top of this large ship, and the ball is the big square thing. And if you're carrying it along, just on a flat plane or along a line, the second you stop moving, the ball will swing past you and pull on your hand. And that's basically what just happened here, but of course we're in space. So the ball sort of just floated up, and suddenly it's as if the string, became solid. Let's say that, or maybe even if it was a stick instead of a string, as it swung up, basically you tightened your grip on the stick, and it just stopped at the angle that it was at. Which is basically what just happened here. So, it's very interesting how things move like this, and it's a whole lot of fun. And now let's go look at that other little thing that I have floating over there to the left, which I think you'll find pretty interesting, and it's actually tying into some of my military vehicle ideas that I have. I like it a lot. Okay, so let's hop off of here. Oh, I've just disconnected the ship on accident. Oh no, that could have been bad. That probably was bad. I meant to press T when I actually went and pressed P because I got confused about which button does which, and wow, I nearly hit that. Jesus, where's the caterpillar gone? Don't tell me it floated away. Okay, there it is. So, for some reason, that second little grappling hook thing doesn't seem to like to stick on the stuff. Maybe it's for how long the ship is, or it sort of torques, boing, it bounces, where that one's more stable and that one gets pushed into it. That could be it. Anyway, let's decouple. Inertial dampeners on. And now let's go and fly ourselves over to this silly looking contraption, or setup. And you might have noticed already, they are mines that we have scattered about here. Because I was tried to figure out, oh, wow, actually I think the caterpillar might be too big to dock right here. So we get to test something new. We get to see if you can actually dock the caterpillar on these slanted, wowzers, no! On these slanted bits right here. So let's go like this, V, there, like so. Need to zoom in a bit. I'm getting all turned around now. There we go. Let's rotate a bit like that. Oh, no, I did it again. Okay, and then I think we need to go, backwards a bit. And then, oh, no, we can. Okay, cool. So that means another ship I have in the work is going to work. And boy, does that ever look weird. Anyway, what I've done here is basically, I was testing to see if I could use these docking clamps to be sort of bomb carriers and bomb releasers. And I figured, well, let's see if you can grab a bomb or any object with two of these at once, and sure enough, I can. But it also created something fairly strange, where if I try to reverse now, watch the bomb. Oh, I did not press that. There we go. I try to reverse, look, it sort of sticks in the middle, and it acts as sort of a stretching point, because there's supposed to be magnetic clamps, and it pulls the other ship along slowly. And of course, the other ship right now is fighting to try to stay in place. So let's actually go up to full, and then stop, and see if this smushes it. And it doesn't, that's a good sign. But now what we're going to do is fly over here, and shut off this ship's inertial dampeners. And now we can see what happens when we pull it along. And I haven't actually done this before, but I assume we've basically made this into a strange joint of sorts. Yes, and if we stop now, it'll keep going. So let's try to fly like this. And you can see now we're pulling it along. If we stop here, it should go, whoa! So now we're somehow clamped, oh, no, okay. The bomb is still in one piece. Wow, that was a weird thing there. It sort of pulled it along. But yeah, now you can see we've sort of made a strange joint. Now I'm going to go back to this other ship now, because I'm not sure what else to do with that. Turn on its inertial dampeners, disconnect it. So now that bomb is only connected to the other ship. Fly back over here. And now I'm going to show you, well, my throwing arm. So I'm going to go like this, and we'll get a good spin around, and release. Just imagine that. A bunch of ships floating out there, grabbing bombs from, let's say, a waiting area. Where did all those bombs I just had go? There they are. So imagine that. If there's a bunch of things like this ship just sitting out there, maybe minus the big caterpillar ship, which I left the inertial dampeners on, so that's probably why I'm going so slow. Yeah. A bunch of these little strange ships, a bunch of bombs sitting there, maybe even bombs that were originally on a larger ship that sort of just came by and dropped them all off. And these ships just sort of like fly up to one gently. Of course, with practice this will be even quicker. Get up to the bomb. Let's just check this. Perfect. Perfect. Grab said bomb. Take aim at whatever you want to hit. I haven't actually practiced my aim very much with this, but I'm going to aim for the big thing over there to our left. Get a good spin in. And release. I've missed terribly. But yeah, you could be tossing those things all over, and that could be a lot of fun. Anyway, I also have ideas for bombers and all sorts of strange stuff that I'm going to be working on shortly. So, I don't know. They've added so many more possibilities with these docking clamps. I'm really looking forward to it all. Big time looking forward to it all. So yeah, thank you for watching. Next video will oh, I'm such a bad aim. Probably either be that big ship that I'm building there, the big square thing, which will be sort of a large hangar bay is my plans right now, but who knows what it'll actually turn into by the time I finish it. Or I'm not sure what else. Probably a bomber of some sort using techniques similar to this that I have in mind that I'm really excited to build. Let's try one more time. Oh, it's so slow, but maybe it'll hit. Yeah, oh, they don't blow up right now, but imagine if that blew up. That would have been great. That would have been a perfect hit. And technically, I could be even farther away with this ship and having a lot of fun. Anyway, thanks a bunch for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Hey, really quickly, I just wanted to say sorry about all the popping you might have heard during this video. Looking into buying maybe a small, cheap pop shield to stick on my face. Anybody has any good suggestions for a cheap one that'll work with the headset microphone, that'd be like really kind of great. Also, if you like to suggest a good cheap microphone for me, well, I'll look into it. I greatly appreciate all that. Again, thank you very much for watching. Hope you guys like this stuff, and I should have that big hangar ship right in front of me done pretty soon. See you guys later.